to be there in person, but I got this new show coming on, and I can't leave LA. So we're here in my garage with my Saab, my 58, and I'm here with Tom and Jerry, the famous two cartoon characters you know as Tom and Jerry. And I guess we're going to talk about Saabs a little bit, isn't that correct?
That's right.
All right. What do you want to know?
A little bit about getting the car, how you came about wanting a Saab, and how this get into the country. And this one actually came from Sweden, as you know.
Actually, they all came from Sweden. Tom is new to the Saab. I just found out that they came from Sweden. Now, when I was a kid, Saabs were growing up in Massachusetts. MIT was nearby, Harvard was nearby, and Saabs always seemed to be driven by sort of engineer types and just odd, different kind of people. And I first was introduced to Saab when I was about 16 years old. I got my license, and my friend Fred, his parents had a Saab. His mom had a Saab, and we would take it out in the snow and just slide around and have a great time. You know, when you get your mom's car, the first thing you do is either leave rubber or just do ridiculous stuff. And we would plow in the snowbanks with it and laugh and get out and push it back up and then drive again. But the thing that amazed me most was the freewheeling, because I had never experienced anything like that. Growing up, my mom had a Falcon, my dad had a Galaxy. So the whole freewheeling experience that I did is you could go down the road, take your foot off the gas, and not slow down with compression braking. Of course, being pretty aerodynamic for its time, that also contributed as well. I always thought that was the most amazing thing. And of course, the sound of Saab, the ring-ding-ding kind of sound, it didn't sound, act, or seem like any other kind of car. And as I said earlier, being driven by teachers, engineers, it seemed like an engineer's kind of car. It seemed like the kind of car that would have been designed by somebody that was in aerospace or that kind of stuff. So they were very mysterious. You know, growing up in New England, we had American cars and we had foreign jobs, as my dad would say. Whereas when I was in foreign jobs, you can't get parts from, you know. And this was a foreign job. So it seemed, even though it was a low-priced car and not particularly luxurious, it would seem very exotic just by the sense of the freewheeling and the 3 cylinders and all the oddball little features like the water pump being driven by the generator. Imagine the English trying to mix electricity and water in the same thing. We don't need it. But Swedish engineers, that's what they're good at.
At this year's convention, I petitioned 25 of the first registrants from our convention. If you were with Jay Leno, what question would you ask him? And I have quite a few questions that we can find you about 10 questions.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, you ready for the first one? You don't have to answer this one. This is from Lawrence Jewett from Leeds, Massachusetts. Why did you choose this make and model? This is a multiple choice for your Saab addition to your collection. A, is your parents brought you back from the hospital? B, a great deal from Tom Donnie? Or C, your first date car?
No, none of it. Actually, it was none of those things. I wasn't looking for a 58. I was just looking for what I consider to be the classic Saab. 3-cylinder, 2-stroke, either 3-speed or 4-speed model. I admire the V4s and stuff, but like every other, like the Model T, like some of the other cars, the more popular they got, the more mainstream they got. So the 2-cycle motor was my favorite. That was the one. So that's what I was looking for. The fact that this one happened to be one of the oldest in the country was just a little extra added icing.
All right, Donald Miller from Cape Nettie, Maryland. Is your Saab as much of a big magnet as your doozy?
Well, neither one, I guess, would be a big magnet. When you have these type of cars, you tend to attract those sort of women that have bad father figures and things like that. On the same eye, and they, it's hard. Women are not interested in cars. The great advantage is it's not a convertible. So you don't get my hair. No, stop this. I hate it. You know, they wonder why there's no air conditioning and why is it making that noise. But there are many women Saab enthusiasts as well. So it's an equal balance.
Okay, this is from Phil Burkert in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right.
Okay, since the larger engine is in this 58 Saab, has torque steer been an issue?
Not really. You don't have enough power for any kind of force. The fact that it steers at all is really to me. I know with type of vehicles, people are not amazed that they got there quickly. They're amazed that they got there at all. So when you pull out something like this, don't forget, I'm 59 years old, so I remember these. But there's a whole generation of young people who maybe they're just getting interested in cars. Like, this is like a mystery to them. You know, I had a couple of kids here the other day, and they got in my Mustang. They said, "Dad, look at this. Whoa!" And they rolled the window up and down for an hour. "Pop, look at this." Whoa! Because they had never seen windows that roll up and down. You know, we live in an era where all cars have to be this high off the ground. You've got to hit a guy in the knee at 80, and he's got to get up laughing. And the reverse has to be here, and the park has to be there, and everything has to be. It's so regulated. To have a car like this done purely from an engineering point of view, it doesn't match anybody's idea of what a car should be. So consequently, people find it interesting. I'm going to show the question mark.
This is from Greg Russell from Denver, Colorado. All right. Okay, have you ever forgot about one or two of your cars? Oh, I got one of those somewhere.
Well, no, not really. I'm not. That gets a little obnoxious. No, I don't think so, because I like them all equally. You know, the one thing, if you like automobiles, you like all kinds of automobiles. And I have a McLaren F1, which is a wonderful car to drive, but it's no more wonderful than the Saab or the Lotus Elan. Each one, you know, I don't seek out particularly fast or high-performance cars. I just seek out cars that have unusual driving experiences. When you drive, I have a Citroen DS. It's not a particularly fast car, but it rides like no other car. This rides and drives like no other car. There's no modern car you can duplicate this experience. So when you go out for a drive, it's just fun to have the sounds, the smells, the way it operates. So they just, each one is uniquely different.
Kip Rhoda from Lake Fork, California says, on your web video, you show many interesting features. Which is your favorite?
The features of this car? Well, as I said, people love the where you can block out the radiator and pull in the metal chain, and, you know, it comes up, and I think that's really interesting. As I mentioned, the water pump, that's also the generator. Just the fact that it's 3 cylinders and you can pick it out. And then when Tom came out to see me once, I think he was driving across country, he had an engine failure, he went in the trunk, took out another engine, put it in, and then you keep driving. I mean, how many other cars could you carry a spare engine, bolt break down? I got it, honey. And change the engine. So that was kind of fun.
This is from Dave Murray from Arvada,